Okay. One thing I love doing is looking back at movies, TV shows I watched, and games I played during my childhood. And I've watched and played so many different things. Nostalgia seems like the most popular topic no one ever lately. Especially when it comes to childhood films getting sequels now, TV shows from 80s and 90s getting reboots, past songs become bigger smashes than they were, and of course all the gaming remasters become more popular this year, especially this year and the last couple of years. Nostalgia and past stuff has been the biggest topic in the 2020s, honestly. As well as been a known thing for nostalgia, it's now more prevalent than ever has been, honestly. And honestly, I've always wanted to do a series discussing my favorite stuff from my childhood, but I didn't really know how to stand out from it or what to name it. But I decided now is the perfect time to start. So welcome to the first episode of the Nostalgia Road Trip, where we drive down looking back at the stuff I regularly watched from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and possibly even early 2010s, honestly. And I'm discussing with a film that actually is now 20 years old this year. There's actually going to be a few from this 20 years old that I'm talking about in this series. And I figured this would be the perfect one to discuss for this series, and that is a film that I will put in my top 10 favorite films of all time. I'm serious. And that film is Shrek 2. This is, of course, the sequel to the 2001 classic Shrek, which obviously is one of the biggest cultural phenomenons in the world. And so the second one, I grew up with the first one. In fact, it was the first one was the film I've seen the most out of any movie ever. Mostly because they were shown in every school I went to, honestly. But with the mid-20th anniversary, I decided that Shrek 2 will be the one I'm talking about here, and I'll definitely do the first one at some point. And for the longest time, I always debated between the first two Shrek movies as my favorite in the series, and as the best DreamWorks movie in general. The DreamWorks is also a studio I grew up with. I do plan to talk about a few other movies at some point. No point like watching a lot of the films from the 90s to 2000s, honestly. And my top three are literally from the Shrek franchise, with the first two along with the most recent Puss in Boots that came out a couple years ago. And I always went with the original Shrek, mostly because of how many times I've rewatched it. But after doing my most recent rewatch of all the movies in anticipation for Company of the Four, I finally made a decision to go with Shrek 2, as it is the definition of what a sequel should do, and as it builds upon the elements that made the first one so good. So I'm going to discuss all the elements that work well with this film, and why it is a treasured film for me. And as goes without saying, there will be spoilers. Spoilers! Sorry. So, the first one was a story about an ogre named Shrek, who is always scared of everyone, and while he enjoys it, he does wish people actually get to know him, and he's kind of scared about being alone. All that changes when he meets Donkey, and he ends up getting tangled up in an adventure to get his swamp back by rescuing the Princess Fiona from the castle to where she and Shrek fall in love. And of course, after the usual misunderstanding trope, they end up getting married and living happily ever after. And it also holds an important role today, actually, especially with the mocking of fairy tale movies, which ends up being a thing that happens in the 2000s and in the early 2010s. While the second one shows what happens after the happily ever after, where we see Shrek and Fiona in the honeymoon phase. We have this classic accidentally love plays, honestly, which again, the first films are great with the music choices, which we'll discuss later in this video. And then suddenly, Fiona's parents wants to meet Shrek, and then, of course, we get Shrek's fears about being judged coming back to him. And of course, seeing Fiona still an ogre doesn't really help either. And it's basically him trying to prove himself he can get the best man to Fiona, but doesn't succeed, especially with the hilarious dinner scene. Of course, leads to some emotional moments, and that's an encounter with Puss in Boots, who was hired by Harold, who has an excellent introduction scene. Puss in Boots. They meet the fairy godmother, who handles something that ogres don't live happily ever after. Which goes to show the lengths Shrek is willing to go to for Fiona, and you end up really connecting and feel the emotions. And it all leads to Shrek turning into a human, Fiona being mobile, and fairy godmother Prince Charming playing those tricks, especially with Charming pretending to be Shrek. And of course, that's some relation of everything. We get a fun reference to the Mountain Man on Dream Lane thing from the first movie, which is kind of hilarious, actually. We end up making a giant Gingy, and they end up storming through the castle to rescue Fiona. who's sort of that charming, isn't really who he says he is, but how selfish he's acting, and how much an asshole he is. Like, if you're gonna play Shrek, actually act like Shrek. Like, seriously. And of course, the classic, I need a hero! I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night. He's gotta be strong, he's gotta be fast, and he's gotta be straight from the fire. Which is known to be the best version of that song. And with all the mayhem going on, the lyrics are true to the deeds of the story, and the final confrontation between all the characters where Charmaine tries to kiss Fiona after Harold's supposed to give her a tea that made her fall in love with Shrek when they kiss, and then he ends up getting actually intentionally giving Fiona the wrong one, and at least Harold actually sacrificing himself to save them while killing the fairy godmother in the process, and it feels that Harold was actually a frog, which probably wasn't actually had to deal with the fairy godmother in the first place, and she didn't want Lynn to obviously know about that. Which is actually a pretty scene that really puts the characters in the full circle. It makes you appreciate Harold so much more as a character. It makes you understand his motivations by him being an asshole. Then at least everybody turning back to normal on it, and of course with the song Upside Inside Out, she living la vida loca, she falls down, pull you down, she's living la vida loca, her lips are devil red, her skin's the color mocha, she will wear you out, she's living la vida loca. Living la vida loca, living la vida loca. And like I said before, Shrek 2 is a definition of how you do a sequel right. It's one that builds upon the story and the world of the original, taking us to a place literally called far, far away. 5 minutes. Hurt yourself for 5 minutes! And exploring more of the fairy tale parody aspects that made these films so beloved in the first place, with Shrek's arc being an incredible one where he actually learns to actually be happy, and the lengths he was willing to go to. I mean, the fact he was willing to give up his own lifestyle because he believed after that fight that this is what she wanted. The fact that it shows how much Shrek does love Fiona, it's just really inspiring to watch. And it cements them as one of the best couples, not just in animation, but films, period. And I'm pretty sure no one disagrees with that. Their chemistry is truly unmatched. I mean, that opening scene showing a montage of them and doing these like fun or random things. One where Fiona killed a mermaid and watched them be themselves, of course having accidentally loved by Karen Crowe's play as well, leaves an impact on the opening alone. And of course you got the voice cast being excellent as they always are, Doc still finding amazing comic relief. Prince Charming and Fiona being excellent villains that have reasons for doing what they are doing. Harold and Lindigan may seem generic at first, but they do grow into engaging characters with distinct personalities. And of course you got the comic Puss in Boots, played expertly by Antonio Banderas, who expertly plays the beloved character who steals every scene that he's in, and they all have excellent chemistry and great back and forth with each other. And of course you have the soundtrack, like the first one, which is a fucking banger, and somehow even better than the first one. Of course the first one had that's like All Star, and I'm on my way, and I'm a believer. This one of course had External Love, which I still hear to this day, and I still love listening to this day. Because got it's funky town. Take me to funky town, which is funky-tastic. And of course, it got Holding Out for a Hero. Which was at least switched to my body rap, if I remember correctly. But it's the Jimmy Songs version that people remember the most. Like, if you were asking anyone what Holding Out for a Hero, they would think that it's from Shrek 2, the song from Shrek 2, because yeah, it is what people remember the song the most. It's what I got myself at the final battle, which elevates the stakes and the intensity of that final battle. And again, building that version as the best and definitive version of that song, and for good reason. And I always think of that version whenever I hear the song and whenever it comes on Zero Song sings it. Same with Living La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin, which is a song that's of course fun and catchy. All that stuff, which is played at the very end of the movie when anime films did dance numbers at their endings. But yeah, you still get a hilarious moments like the classic Ari Delia scene in the iconic line like, for 5 minutes. Could you not be yourself? For 5 minutes! That still runs to this day. The iconic dinner scene which Shrek and Hell end up fighting, which them eating the food and taking this like taking an ending in the flying. It's like Shrek, Fiona, Lucky Harold, Dante. That's why in the short time, the other figure creatures do have their moments as well. They all have time to shine. Especially seeing what they end up trying to rescue, strike everybody. And Giant Pinocchio tries to lie. It's like say you well, please love. Say you wear ladies' underwear. It's like I'm wearing ladies' underwear. Are you actually wearing underwear? No. Like that seems hilarious. And getting a person being a boost with a hairball scene and use his cute face to do what he wants. Even figuring out money Prince Charming have their fun lines and moments while still able to be true threats to the heroes. And yet, it's filled with a lot of heart and passion. Again, the most really hit, they really hit. Especially seeing him following with Shrek with dying from Fiona. It's like, Mr. Fiona Shrek, Mr. Fiona Shrek, Mr. Fiona Shrek, Mr. Fiona Shrek. Which I remember seeing that really haunted me when I was a kid, honestly. Which was the fight after the dinner scene. And then Shrek thinking he needed to let her go at one point. Of course, Steven also drinks to have after the potion and thinks that's what he needs to. Steven with him to take it back, Harold's sacrifice, and the ending itself gets me every time. Again, that final act is one of the best final acts in any anime film, period. It's very well written, still beautifully animated, and these messages end up hitting hard as you believe in these characters and their motivations. One being about ogres not living happy ever after and not getting a happy ending, and Shrek goes through the definition of an incredible character arc. Shrek 2 is truly what a sequel should deliver on building up on the aspects of the first movie, in terms of world building, the characters, what they go through, the new characters of Fairy Godmother, Prince Charming, King Harold, Queen Lillian, and Puss in Boots deliver, and it still embraces the parody aspect of fairy tales with excellent humor and action set pieces. So I was saying, after doing my latest rewatch, I can officially say that Shrek 2 is now my favorite DreamWorks movie. It is how you do a sequel right. It is the perfect package of heartfelt and emotional storytelling while having excellent, hilarious moments and memorable sequences. And I still rewatch and come back to this very day. The character arcs and development are excellent throughout. The final battle is top tier. It's the perfect package it's the perfect package. The perfect package. And it's crazy how 20 years later it still holds up and likely will be remembered still for many years to come. And for good reason. Like I mentioned before, it's in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I think it was, I know it might be a little bit low on that, but the more I thought about Shrek 2, the more I thought, yeah, it belongs on the list. So hope you enjoyed the first episode of the Nostalgia Road Trip. This is just a simple discussion. I mean, obviously discussing these movies, so I hope you enjoy. Not sure what I'm talking about, honestly, but hope you enjoyed this little breeze of nostalgia. Peace.